I think we're live, guys.
Yeah,
welcome,
boy.
welcome to Smallmouth Crush. I'm your co-host, Nick Eric, and our host Travis Manson, and guest appearance by Big JP.
Yeah, put
What's
me where
up
I
tonight?
belong, Travis, on the bottom.
Yeah, what's up
What
with
is
that?
going on here?
It's
What's that?
25th.
Put me where I belong on the bottom.
Now you're up top. You're the moderator tonight.
That's
Oh,
better.
there,
That's
there you go.
better.
That's better. He's such a big guy. Now be still tonight. Yeah, there you go. It's perfect. Closer to the camera. Right on, man. What's up, Travis?
Hi.
Hi.
How
How
are
are
you
you?
guys?
How you
Good.
doing? How you doing, bud?
Good.
What's new?
Well, I guess we're gonna do a little live show tonight for everybody, and probably talk a little fishing. I would
I think
assume.
so. Yep, yep,
Yep.
yep. I was at a bass show over the weekend.
And how
So
was that bass show, Eric? Was it good?
it was fun, man. It's just fun
Yeah.
to get out,
What
hang
was the
out.
best part of it?
Well, just seeing old friends, man.
Good.
Talking a little fishing,
Oh yeah.
finding some gems here and there, seeing
Heck,
what's new. Bumped
that
into Fat Cat Newton. He says hello.
has been amazing. Tell me more.
I a little sarcasm going on.
So
Travis, you better get some motivation, buddy. We got a big show in 2 weeks.
What's the show? Oh yeah,
The
are you
New
going
England
into?
Fishing Expo. I mean, I need you on your A game at this show. We can't just be staring off into the ceiling tiles all day long. We gotta be motivated and making connections.
yeah.
Yeah. Eric,
Hey,
what was the age group at the fishing show that you went to over this weekend?
man, it was mixed. I mean, a bunch of young kids there, a bunch of, I mean, from like 8 to 80.
Really? And yeah, but like if you had to put a percentage on it, how many of them were in their, let's say like 20 to 30, and then how many 40 to 50 and then 50 plus?
I think it was mixed between the 20 to 30 and the 50 plus.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's even, man. There's high school fishing teams there. I mean, it's really cool. There's
Yeah.
plenty of Utes in the building, you know? Absolutely, man. Everybody, my mic is different because I'm uh I'm on my iPhone. Hotmail's having a little issue tonight. So anyway, there you go, man. Yeah, the webcam's clear too. Maybe I should just stream on my phone. It's way better. How's the mic sound, JP? Different than the other nights?
No, you sound amazing.
Okay.
Um, yeah. So, high school fishing brings up a good point. High school fishing, college fishing, boy, they get a lot of boats.
Yeah, they do. Where do they come
Man,
from? Isn't it
crazy.
amazing?
You
I
look at
mean,
some of these high school events and there's 250 boats in these tournaments.
that's crazy. Yeah, and BASS, I guess, no live scope for the high school fishing teams. They're going to encourage them to learn some skill, and then they'll be able to use it back in college. And then, depending upon which way they go, if they want a professional career, they can, yeah, they can move along.
Hmm.
Very interesting. But yeah, hats off to the volunteers that take them out, man. That's a
Yeah.
big time commitment to coach a team. Like when I coached football, youth football, man, it was 7 days a week, bro. Because I was
Yeah.
scouting the other teams. You're coaching on the weekends, you're coaching every night. It's a lot of time, but I loved
And
it, man. One of the funnest times of my life.
what do you think? That kind of brings us into a hot topic right now, the whole studying of the team thing. But when it comes into fishing, studying for an event before you get there. Eric, why don't you break it down to what it was like when you were younger, you were in your 20s and 30s, whenever you really started fishing tournaments, how you would really get yourself prepared, right? Before you actually put your boat in the water the first day of practice.
Well, wow, I first joined a club called Bank and Boat Bassmasters. That means you could have fished from the bank or a boat. And since I first joined that club, I decided to fish as a non-boater. So I was with boaters, and you know, no saying where they took you. And so early in my experience in tournament fishing, I found a way to catch fish behind people. When they were targeting visitable. I've fished a lot of rivers, a lot of Eastern Shore rivers, Potomac River, and It was fun, man, because for me it was just about generating bites behind somebody that's taking the prime position, prime cast, front ending you a little bit. So I've always been motivated by how do I find a fish behind somebody else, generate a strike behind somebody else, and I guess that's what drew me to a lot of finesse fishing, bait hacks, finding something different, going my own path, right? And
Yes.
that was a good experience, man. I won a tournament my first year, got lunker my first year. Funny story. Uh, in this club, it was really kind of a cool club because during lunch, it was mandatory that everybody break for an hour. And the boats would gather at a predetermined location on the lake or river from 12 to 1. And you'd eat and you'd talk. And I was leading, well, I thought I'd be leading this tournament at Parker's Pond on the Eastern Shore. It's probably still there. It's a little mill pond, very small. So it was a lot of boats in a very small area. And I had one that was probably over 4, and I had my limit, which was chunky. And I was fishing with Skip, who was a postal guy. He was the #1 guy in the club. He won Angler of the year prior. He was the guy to beat. And I'm beating the pants off him. And I'm slow rolling a spinnerbait behind him. It was a bushwhacker bomber spinnerbait. And yeah, it was in tannic water. And I remember it was stained, and I think I had some copper blades, which maybe I'd read somewhere that copper's a great color for tannic. I still think it is. And everybody's like, let's see your lunker, because Skip was like, Eric's got a big one. And they're like, take it out. And I'm like, no, I'm going to leave my fish in the live well. Skip reaches, he goes, I'll get it. It's his boat. He reaches into the live well, holds my lunker up, and it shakes and bounces out of his hand into the water.
Oh my God.
They did not give me credit for the 4+ pounds
Bye
in
bye
that tournament.
fish.
I
Man.
wonder if old Skipper just happened to let that, because he was a stocky, post office guy. He wasn't some lean, mean fight machine. I'm like, man, I think I was a hard lesson to learn in the beginning of my bass fishing career.
Yeah.
No, nobody's watching out for you, man. So that was a tough lesson early. I was pissed. And I ended up coming in second to him. And that would have been lunker in first. So
Yeah.
crazy, man. Crazy.
Man.
So yeah. So I've
So-
been team fishing for a while, but when I got my bass tracker, and really first I didn't tournament fish. It was all about getting on the river and learning the Potomac. Navigation was first, right? So going out with people that I knew, teaching me the river. I hired 2 guides early because I fished up north. And if you know anything about Potomac North, this is mid-river and up towards the Wilson Bridge, because there wasn't much grass on the river when I started fishing it. The hardcover bite was really on. And there's a lot of spoils in the Potomac River. People lose lower units quite often. And so I learned to navigate the river through fishing with Richie Gaines and Glenn Peacock. And those were fantastic experiences. So Glenn was an iconic guide on the river. Fished a pre-spawn kind of deal with him, and we just crushed them. So I learned a lot about areas, techniques, bait selection, all that, how to navigate the river, how to navigate safely. And I had a tin boat at that point, and then I stepped up to a 16-foot tracker fiberglass boat, Burgundy, baby. That's the OG, man. And then just started to figure things out on my own, man.
All right. And back then there was no iPhone, of course, right? No
Nothing.
internet.
Nothing.
No internet. No
No, it
live.
was nothing.
Right?
Nothing.
You had maybe
nothing.
like one TV show a weekend you got to watch, and then read your Bassmaster magazine and bust out the old paper map, right?
Paper maps for sure. I
Yeah.
think Gemco was the big mapping deal back then. So you'd look for, and they were pretty good about. They didn't mark all the underwater obstructions. I lost 1 lower unit, I think, and probably lost a prop off a couple others.
Right.
So yeah, you'd find rock piles that way and barges that way, and of course, you used your rod, your line, your reel to figure out where the chunk rock was, where some of the barges were. You hear stories, you triangulate stuff. That was back in the day when flashers were on my boat, and Billy Kramer, who's an OG river rat, who's been on our show. Travis, you had him on. We had him on about a month ago. He taught me a ton. Yeah, man. So I got a chance to learn from a lot of the OG river rats, if you will, and just started team fishing. And
By more of like putting work in.
man, a lot.
A lot of hours on the water.
a lot of hours on the water to figure things out.
It's safe to say there was way less hours pre-tournament off the water preparation compared to on the water. Nothing substituted for time on the water, right?
Nothing. I mean,
Right.
I still think it's important,
And it's
so
it's satisfying. It's satisfying that way
super
when
when
you
you
get to a
figure
new
it out.
lake, right? And you launch your boat and you're like, man, I've never been here before. I can't wait to dissect this, right? And now you look
Right.
at like Travis and I were in our early 40s, right?
Sure.
And there was way more information to obtain digitally when we were motivated and fishing tournaments all the time, right, Travis?
That's correct.
Right. And how far would you go with the digital experience, Travis, in preparation before a tournament before you got there?
What was the question?
How far digitally did you put your practice time in before you even showed up to a lake?
40 to 60 hours.
40 to 60 hours. Now would that be mapping and actually studying the map yourself with your own eyes, or would that be watching tournaments on TV on the screen and trying to break down areas of a lake or a bait by watching somebody else's success, or try to just educate us as to how you would prepare for that tournament? How much different it was for you as it was for Eric, where the information wasn't right at his fingertips, so to speak?
I would do a lot of map study, a lot of internet research, a lot of YouTube videos. Yeah, as much information as I could find online for sure.
Heck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
What about
how far do you want to dig into the map studying that you would do on the internet?
I really don't want to dig into it too much, but
Oh, okay.
we certainly can if you'd like.
Well, no, I don't want you to give up anything that you don't want to really give up or whatnot, but
I don't think it's that, JP. It's just it's pretty basic. You would just do as much Google searching as you can. Hashtags, the lake that it's on. There's a lot of different things, but yeah. I seen the comments. People are asking if I had some sort of edible or if the simulation is running slow this evening. I might be slightly sedated. I'm kind of joking. No, I had a long day on the ice. A little tired is all.
tell us about your day on the ice, then we'll get back to finding fish.
No, let's keep going.
All right. Keep going, JP.
I guess what I'm getting at here, boys, is I'm getting at the fact that for Big JP, and I don't know, I think Eric might be with me on this. It seems like the art of putting actual hard physical work in to preparing for a successful day on the water is kind of taking a back seat to all the information that's out there that you can just find now with the stroke of your finger on a keyboard.
And add to that the advancements that we've seen, right? And it's a
Right.
totally different game for sure. But everybody else has that too, right?
But my question is, does everybody actually have the time? Does a guy that's married with kids and working a full-time job have that time to sit there and break down 47 hours of live coverage on a lake so they can dissect the shoreline and get the color of the house and the pickup truck in the driveway, and then go on Google Maps and try to locate that house so they can put themselves within a 300-yard stretch of where the tournaments that they're going to have been won? Does a guy that has to work two jobs just to be able to go and fish the tournament and feel like he's got a crying chance, can he? I know he can still be competitive because I'm still competitive when I fish tournaments, but is it a fair advantage when there's all this information for the people that some people have it really easy where they can do that all day long while they're at work? They can just keep watching and watching and taking and taking and taking the information in.
But that's always been the case, right? The fisherman by phone, right? Somebody who's got time on the water during the week. I mean, That's always been the case, right? There are people that just don't sleep. I mean, Travis, when you're prepping for a tournament, how many hours of sleep would you allow your body? I mean, Travis is famous for being up at like 3 and going to bed at midnight. I mean, the guy might be running on 6 hours of total sleep in a 48-hour period, because he's putting that extra work in. So I think part of it is motivation. How much extra are you willing to put in? What's your life situation? I mean, that's always been the case. Guys have been married with 1 kid, 2 kid, 2 jobs, 1 job, a job that doesn't allow you to watch, call anybody, talk, because you got to give your time and attention. If you're building computer boards, right, or you're doing something that requires your absolute attention on the job, you're not going to be able to A, talk to anybody, B, read a magazine, C, look on the internet, D, all the ways and the advancements over the year. I mean, that's always been the case, right? That's always been the case. But you can still go out and beat a guide. You can still go out and beat somebody who's won prior. That's the crazy part about bass fishing, right? I mean, every tournament's different. You can't count on anything. There's so many variables involved in this sport. But I hear your point. I hear your point. I do. But I think that's what's been the case.
I don't know why comments are disappearing again. What
do you mean?
It's just weird.
Like you see something and then it's gone?
Yeah.
I'm seeing all of them.
As we were talking, I'm going to share with you my little adventure today.
Sure.
Do you have one, Ems?
Is that little Emma?
Yes.
Okay. Emily. She got it. Is Coley out there?
Yeah, look how she works that rod, you guys.
Dude, you see that high stick? Let's go again.
Look at that.
Yeah, yeah. Boom, boom.
Ain't that crazy?
She's got the skill, man.
Do you have one?
Right on it, too, dude.
Oh, I almost had one.
Okay. There's a lot of them down there.
That's what it's all about.
There you go. Creating some memories. Is that Smalley? Is that SmallmouthCrush?
He's sight fishing perch.
I see that. I see him looking down there.
You know what to do.
Daddy, there's the biggest one ever.
Really?
Yeah, you got to see this.
Oh, wow. That's a northern.
Ooh.
Let's see if Emily can get it. That's a big northern.
Come on, please. Put it lower.
You don't tell me how to fish, Cole. Oh, I wonder if it's a little crazy in here, Ems.
Look at her holding that reel too, man. She's got it.
One. Here, open that bail.
Yeah. Oh yeah, buddy. Come here.
There you go.
I got a big one. Is this good?
Nope.
No.
Nope. Try to get the hook out of them. Let's see if Emily can get one. You got one, Ems. Reel in.
Is that a whole live well?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's keeping them
I
fresh.
need to get one of them.
That's cool.
I got a big one. Got one.
Emily, you just...
That was a fatty she threw back.
Yeah, actually, we should probably look at that again one more time because that was pretty weird.
That was pretty funny. She's like, it's your lucky
I
day.
Hold it. He's a cutie pie. I got a big one.
Emily, you just...
She thought he was too cute to go in the frying pan, so she looked at you just to make sure you weren't looking anymore. And then once she looked away, she tossed it right in a hole.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, that's funny. That was crafty, right? No wonder you're exhausted, bro. You had 2 children's out on the ice. Where were you? Like,
Up on the St. Lawrence River,
how long did it take you to get to where you were fishing?
20 minutes.
You walking, or
Mhm.
did you're straight up walking out on the ice, drilling holes? You remember, oh, what was Paul and those guys, Extreme Anglers? They changed their name, Aggressively Average Anglers. He went and drilled his first hole on the ice and drilled right through his boot into his foot.
Oh my
How
God.
did that happen?
He was literally just, I didn't see the video where it happened. I just happened to be looking at my feed. It's him talking to the camera as he's driving to the hospital.
Hmm.
He said, he had the most heavy duty boots he could find, just sharpened his blades, and he took it in the foot. Driving himself to the hospital. I thought he was going to pass out.
Wow.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine.
Dude, can you imagine an auger going through your boot after you just sharpened the blades of your auger? I guess he wasn't wearing a steel toe boot.
Anyways, what else were we talking about?
Oh, okay.
Fine.
So let me get back on track here. So here's a question then. So if Eric started out fishing a tournament trail where there was actually guys where they could fish from the bank or the boat, and now we live in the digital aspect of Google, where will it be when your son is 20 years old, Travis, and my kid's 20? What do you think the preparation for a tournament's going to be like at that point?
Wow. Good question.
20?
So
20,
10 years, 10, 15 years from now.
6. I don't think there will be electricity, so it'll be extremely hard to fish.
Can you dial back the time frame?
Oh,
So we're still with electricity, JP. Dial back.
before the
dial back
year
the
before
time
the
frame.
setback.
Oh, I think it'll be just fine. I think there'll be bigger and better electronics, I'm sure. But the fish behavior will be awfully the same as it is now. They roam around, move around. I don't listen to a lot of fishing, I guess, podcasts and things like that, but I did recently see that KVD was talking with Mark Zona about electronics and whatnot, and KVD was basically saying how, we know nothing about fish behavior, and forward-facing sonar confirms that. He was very adamant that he thought fish hung out on structure, and that's not the case. The majority of fish don't care about structure. There's going to be fish that relate to structure. It's not the same kind of fish that you're thinking of all that are living there. Like, there's new fish that replace this fish, and this fish decides to go chill, and this one decides to swim 3 miles that way and chase some bait. And I don't see a problem. I don't even know why we're having this conversation, Jake.
I want to ask you this.
What are you talking about?
I had a good friend of mine send me this thing. Listen. I had a good friend of mine send me this thing the other day. It's an underwater trail camera.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Sure.
Okay. So what do you think about that?
I don't know. I can kind of see in real time if there's fish there or not. I thought about the trail camera. I don't know how it's going to send signals back. Maybe if you're in a small pond or it's next to your dock. I don't see how placing them out in the vast bodies of water that I fish would even do me any good. I don't think a signal would come through 40 feet down, would it?
I have no idea. I just saw that the guy's got a camera that you put down and it sends a signal to your phone and lets you know what's going on. And it says in the advertisement that it can last weeks to a month on a single battery charge. I do think that it has probably depth ranges that make it so that it's out of range and whatnot. I'm just wondering, I mean, that's a little bit of a reach, isn't it? So now you're going to be out on the water and you're fishing a tournament. Your phone's going to go off, and 7 miles away, a school of fish just pulled up on a rock pile, and you're going to pull the trolling motor and run to this
Oh,
rock.
wow. That's a good point. Never thought of it that way.
Okay. So like how crazy is it going to get is what I'm saying.
Okay.
This technology just keeps advancing to a point where it's just insane to me. And how is that feeling like you really put the work in?
So what do we do?
I don't like putting the work in, JP.
Okay.
Well,
so you're
guess
kind of like
I guess we're at an impasse.
Do you have a
Yeah.
more enjoyable day when you set the hook all day long and you fight these fish and you have a good bag? Or do you enjoy the day where you catch 2 fish all day and it sucks out there?
I
Depends
enjoy
on if I
all
win.
I would say the majority of people are going to say option A, please.
Of course, everyone's going to want option A, but there's something to be said about going out, like I said, to a lake we've never been to. We go to Lake X. Me, you, and Eric. We're all towing our own boat, and we launch, and we have no preconceived notions whatsoever. And we go out, and we either figure it out and have a great day, and then we get to go, yeah, we did it, right? Or, hey, maybe Big JP zeros. You know what? I'm okay with that because I know that I put what I figured, my interpretation of hard work is hours on the water. A good friend of mine, Johnny K, we all know him, right? Nothing substitutes for time on the water. That's what he always used to tell me when I was very young.
And Travis, I mean, there are people that just don't want to fish the way you fish. There's millions of fishermen in the country. There's millions of saltwater, freshwater, trout anglers, etc. And everybody's got their own jam. You're totally into the electronics. We get it. But there are other people that will never have it, don't want it. And so I think the conversation is deeper. And you can have your own personal opinion. I hear what you're saying for sure. I know you love to set the hook. But there are people that just want to do it differently and get satisfaction out of putting the work in. They might just be in a tin boat. They could be, on the bank. They could be in a kayak. They could be, fishing behind somebody who's in the front of the boat in a tournament, and they figured something out how to generate a bite. Like I related to my story was how do I, and even still today, when I'm not scoping up front with you or you're letting me have the front, I get a big amount of satisfaction knowing that you're not seeing every fish out there, knowing that you're putting me around them, and how do I generate a bite behind you? That's super gratifying for me. I didn't find the fish, but I found a way to get a bite from a fish you didn't see.
I understand what you're saying, Eric,
that's my experience behind you. And so I think what JP's trying to say is for those people who like to put work in differently than you do, it's satisfying to figure something out, whether you're using electronics or not.
Just a quick video of you hogging the live scope up.
You gave it to me.
That was a fish.
So you're talking about how you don't like it. You're up there constantly in my
No, you asked me to go up front, and I said,
there you are again.
Try.
Why using live scope?
You were very different this last trip.
I'm really loving this steak, Troy. This is a new
You offered it
rod.
to me, and I
This
said,
is a
thank you.
710.
Remember?
That's a cool length, man.
You
Moderate,
said, nah.
fast action.
You said, nah,
Something
man,
different.
get up there. I'm like, sure, I'll do it.
And it's definitely working. I got my Cortland
it's
Master
fun.
Braid. What is this?
What do you got there?
8 pound
8 pound.
high vis yellow.
So what kind of leader boat?
Cortland
He
8
was ready.
pound.
He was ready for me tonight, everybody.
Carbon leader.
I knew he would
Nico
set me up.
craw is really probably the most realistic craw on the
that's where we're
market.
throwing the
We've
Nico
talked
baits?
about this in the past,
We have. That was right before
but
the
it's doing some damage today.
cut the claws off video, right?
Yeah.
You make a nice long cast with this rod.
You really can't bomb it.
I do like the feel of this a lot.
Dude, that 710 is ridiculous.
So deal with the craw, especially this time of year. What have we got? Water temps 44 degrees.
Hey, Trav, let me ask you a
I'm
question.
just
Of all the
shaking it
spinning
and dragging
rods
it
you've
really
sent,
slow on the bottom. Not a lot of movement.
like really full
Shaking
send,
the place
did you
on
feel the
slack line,
difference with the 710
I
in
just
terms
feel
of
like a
length
thump.
and hook set
Yeah.
And
ability,
it's important with this hook.
line pickup?
A little different. Yeah.
These are
Is it gonna be
BKK
part of
hooks.
your-
I'm going to talk about
part
the
of
jig
your-
head that I'm using.
Is it going to be part of your?
There's not a lot of.
Oh,
there's-
we were
there's
trying to
not a lot of
film
gap
Nico
between the
Craw
hook and the
video, and you
plastic,
kept throwing
so,
the Carolina rig. I
the
remember.
good thing is it does
Oh
come
yeah,
through the rock
remember?
and the sparse vegetation that's still down there really good.
Oh, I wanted to catch one on a finesse worm.
But I
Remember?
did bend
I
the
was
hook
being
out
hard-headed.
just a little bit.
I missed it
Thanks
like how
to
many
the advice
times?
from my lovely co-host. Big Eric.
You're welcome.
That's right.
And
That's
there's
right.
a bite right there. I give it a second,
And
and then I'm going to give it to him. As
Give
soon
it to
as
him. There it
I
was.
feel it,
There it was.
he's there. Oh, yeah.
Look at that. 7-10.
I probably could have set that about 10 seconds.
10
I
seconds
thought so.
earlier.
Yeah. I want to be dramatic for the YouTube.
Yeah, you have to.
You have to sometimes. This is
Sometimes-
probably our last time we'll be fishing this year.
I know, right?
It was, wasn't
So
it?
we're
That,
just going
wasn't
to
that
have
the
fun
last moment?
couple hours.
Was that before or after we cut the claws off?
Not yet. You're still sea-rigging.
Oh, I know. I'm still goofing around. When do I catch my only fish on the Carolina rig with a Zoom finesse worm?
No.
As much talk as Eric does on our live shows about forward-facing sonar, he sure likes to get up there and hog that pedal.
I'm trying to catch one on a T-rig, man. Where'd you capture him at?
Just out there.
He's just out there milling around.
Ringing bait.
He's not huge.
This is good, Travis. I'm glad you had this in your back pocket. You were ready for me
He is
tonight,
a
man.
small
Way
one.
to go.
Wow.
Now,
That was
come on,
somebody's-
dude.
That was
Have I said
somebody's
the hook
line.
No.
Yeah, it was coming to the surface. That was
Oh,
like
yeah,
a
I had
sturgeon.
him.
If that was a bass, it was the New York State record. I promise you, bro. I couldn't even move that thing.
A sturgeon.
There
What kind of
Yep.
shit am I talking about? Is that the T-rig again?
Wow.
No.
Dropped it. Why?
Oh, we throwing the
I
no
came
crawl
back.
claw. I wanted to try that
You gotta keep
7-10,
coming with
man.
this open hook. Oh my God, that's a big. We're testing out Nico baits. PKK head, same pound test leader. And
This
I
is the no crawl claw
claws
challenge.
off mine.
You
You've
cut
always
the claws right off.
Right off. It has no claws.
He took the claws off.
Because of that Berkeley study that said the crayfish that got bit the most had no claws. I'll show you the bait and show you the claws. So there's the bait. That's the BKK hook. And it produced, and here's the bait.
It still looks like a real crayfish.
It's
but
the
with no
most
claws.
realistic. So if everybody says a Ned looks like a cray with no claws, that's what
Yeah.
it should look like.
Yeah.
So do we discover something
I don't know.
new?
Can I keep fishing or are you going to keep talking?
This is some bass lap shit, bro. This is important.
Put that fish back unless you want.
There's a lot of fish out there. But before I reel up, he wanted to eat it.
That was a
This could
fun
be
day.
larger than charge. It's just an average size giant. That's a pretty good one. Oh,
Yeah, that thing was
Let me walk
flat
this
on that
dude
thing.
around and hold him there. Since my look at his. I win. I got him. You got to walk the dog around the trolling motor because there's an A-rig in that seat. But if I must, my landing zone.
Just happy sitting down, landing another fish.
Another nice St. Lawrence, Ontario, Clayton, New York. Where are we? Mud Bay.
You never have to worry about me
Don't
giving up
matter
your
where
spots.
we are.
I have no
Yeah,
clue.
maybe I got a bite.
People ask me
Bud.
all the time, Travis, where were you? And I'm like, no clue, bud. Book Travis for a
Here's
trip.
Bud. Keep
He'll
that fish
tell you.
coming. Keep
You
that
still
fish
fishing
coming.
the 710?
Oh,
Yeah.
That's a long spinning rod. I don't think I've ever thrown a 710. I sure would like to. Is that a medium heavy, Travis, or medium? That's
think it's
perfect,
fine.
man. Mm.
Anyways, we caught
All
it.
right. No, that was good. So listen, so like just where you had it right there. This is where I'm coming full circle now. There's all
Yeah.
this noise and there's this chatter and there's this new guy is Fisher Green. He's blasting all these organizations because they won't do away with forward facing sonar and they're he's pissed because you can't use a tiller motor in a high school or college event anymore or anything like that, right? Where from
You
my
can't?
perspective, no, they changed
Why?
it, I guess. I don't know. He's been blasting the internet with it. But listen,
I
so
wonder why.
basically, Big JP's perspective is Live Scope's got nothing on the internet, because when I was just watching that video, you could have still shot that video, zoomed in on that map, and been sitting on that spot tomorrow morning.
Yeah, they might have been gone. Smallies
They
are
may have been
pelagic.
gone. Yes, there's a good chance they weren't going to be gone that time of year, and what's going on there. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, Travis, you've been on Ontario more than anybody. How often does a group of fish like that move, and how far would they move typically? Or are they there and that's their early wintering hole and they're
Those
gonna
fish are
be there?
those fish would have stayed there until
Right.
they're there
And
right now. But
And so they held on the bait.
most normal months they'll move a little for sure. You're gonna have your little secret little spots where you know, JP, you know this, man. There could be a couple fish hanging out there. Yeah, I mean the problem, I don't know if it's a problem. We just keep hitting spots until we find them, you know.
Yeah, you do. You move around a lot. You do work hard to go find us fish to catch. There's no question about it.
Mm-hmm.
He knows his waters, man. And that, I mean, to your point, JP, it's now time on the water to be able to locate fish, to give me and him a good experience when we're videoing, or him and a client a good experience, right? You do the same thing, right? I mean, you guys approach it a little bit differently, I understand, but it's still, you're using your knowledge, your time on the water to put people on groups of fish, right? To have a good day.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But
it's about the size of the gobies or crayfish. Yeah, for sure, 5+ inches. I've seen some very big gobies, so they're eating some big gobies. There's
so let
too, though.
Let me ask you guys a question, Travis. Aside from size of the bait, time on the water, finding fish, because you guys, you're guides. But when it comes to you getting ready for a tournament, and I'm talking about at the top level, I mean, Travis, you fished elites. JP, you fish what, BFL level and above, Toyotas? No? Yes?
Yeah, Bass Opens. Yeah.
Bass Opens. Like, on that body of water, the guys that win consistently or in the top, how do you find those difference maker fish, those 5+ to 6 pound fish? What's the difference? Is it map study, time, electronics, prior knowledge, a great friend network? You guys might share information because you're guides. What's the difference makers? Why do some people always come up out on top? What in your mind, Travis, you go first. What's the difference? How do those guys that are constantly catching over 25 to 30 pounds do it to be in that winner circle? Like the Johnstons, for instance.
Just what we were talking about, time on the water.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, so over and above all the information that's available, these incredible electronics, it's time on the water. And then fishing clean, I imagine, right?
Let's say you find a big boulder in 30 feet of water.
Is that always going to be a good boulder for you? Because that's special.
And you can throw a drop shot, you can throw a net, you can throw a football head, you can throw whatever you want to those fish, and chances are they're going to eat it.
Right. Smallmouth seem to be a very bitey fish. If you present the bait correctly at the right angle, they're generally going to bite. I mean, that's what I've heard. JP, do you agree?
Yes.
They're different than most species. They're pretty aggressive. They bite willingly.
Well, I think largemouth bite willingly as well.
I don't know about that.
I think the problem you have is a lot of largemouth bodies of water all over the country are just getting pounded on, or presentations are not proper. You know, just because you're on the grass flats on, you know, the Chesapeake Bay and you're throwing a chatterbait doesn't mean you're going to get those fish to react. Your bait's going past dozens of fish every cast. Yet you're only 6 bites a day.
Yeah.
And so it's all about the presentation, and perhaps, I mean, you've seen this.
Sure.
If you could slow down with a worm and really make it look real, I mean, the finesse fishing, that's why I like it so much, is because you're able to clean up a lot of times
behind other people. I agree. Finesse cranking.
Unless you're totally dialed in,
with
the way you're power fishing. In a tournament setting, there's 80 other guys throwing chatterbaits out there.
Yeah, I agree.
or frogs or whatever it is. So, if you're doing that versus jumping around, when I fished the Chesapeake in tournaments, I really, it's certain times a year, but I was more of a spot on the spot guy versus random grass and just sitting out there all the time,
Yeah, I mean, for sure.
I guess.
There's many ways to look at it, right? Wait out the tides, get those groups in those feeding windows, the spot on the spot. What makes it special is a little depth change, the presentation, depth, speed, cadence, right? A lot of that stuff makes a difference, man. That's why I love hacking and thinking about all the things that can change a bait and modifying it, right? Suspending a crankbait versus having a high float. All those things have mattered and definitely put money in the bank for me.
Yeah.
In tournament
I still
situations.
enjoy doing all that other stuff, but I can't outfish myself power fishing out here.
Right.
Just won't happen for me.
Right.
It'll come into play here and there, but
right.
Yeah,
I'm into the friend network. I like the friend network. You got that close group of friends you work with, you share information with and stuff like that. I'm also a big advocate of putting a lot of time into to dissect it myself. I find self-rewarding out of finding stuff myself. I can't get in to watching Bassmaster live for 4 hours.
Right.
To try to help me find a spot to catch a fish. That just takes away any type of self-gratification whatsoever.
What was that,
Holmes?
Holmes?
From the fish catch. What's that?
What was that?
I can't do it. I can't sit there for 4 hours watching Bass Live or MLF or YouTube videos trying to pinpoint a point with a yellow roof.
Oh, I love that part.
What's that?
I love that part. That's my favorite part.
Oh, I can't do it. See,
there's this guy on social media that you send a picture of him talking, and he'll locate exactly where you are in the country.
That's awesome.
And that's what I enjoy doing.
Yeah, you got to turn off some settings on Instagram, not to give away your geolocation of your picture in Instagram. Apparently, it sends it out. It's there for anybody who can look.
Oh, yeah?
Apparently.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah. How about that? How about that? Good topic, though, man, JP. Way to bring it, man. I like it. Great questions for sure. Like if you guys were planning on fishing, let's pretend. So both of you guys are North guys now. What's the earliest, if just believe for a moment that New York opened up smallmouth fishing early? What would be the earliest you'd want to fish a smallmouth tournament on Ontario? Lake only.
April.
So let's just say they announced April. There was a 200 boat tournament in April on Ontario this year. Do you want the river open as well? Sure. All of it's open? Okay. St. Lawrence to Ontario. Where are you launching? Just to give you both an idea of what this tournament's going to, gonna set up like. Hello? Give me a launch ramp.
Just out there,
Okay, Messina. No. Clayton.
Cape Vincent.
Okay, Cape Vincent. 200 boat tournament going out of Cape Vincent. How do you prepare? You guys are smallmouth experts. Travis, you've had a little more time on Ontario than JP, or JP, have you had more time on Ontario than Travis? I don't know.
He's got way more hours than me.
All right. So
I would say no practice.
I wouldn't watch one YouTube video.
All right.
I wouldn't watch YouTube videos. And
so how are you going to approach your tournament strategy? You get, how many days of practice would you guys like to have for this 200 boat tournament? Top prize is $100,000.
Zero, all in day one.
Travis is going all in day one. JP?
Yeah, zero.
Zero practice. You guys are going to go in cold. All right.
Yeah.
What? All right.
The biggest thing I would study before the tournament would be the weather.
Weather. All right. Prevailing winds.
Yes.
Temperature. You'd like to get a sense of water temp. Does that Does water
Mhm.
temp drive how you fish? No. Prevailing winds the prior
Yes.
week, does that give you okay? And the winds during the tournament are going to give
Yeah,
you an
yeah,
idea
most
of
important, right?
okay, most important. All right, I'm going to give you the conditions for the 3 days of the tournament. What's the worst wind you can have on Ontario?
West.
West.
It's a west wind. 3 days prior to the tournament, it's going to keep blowing west and shift to northwest on the third day. What's the water temp in April? Make it up because you know it.
47.
51.
All right. What's on the deck of your boat that first day?
Football jig.
I knew that's coming.
Quarter ounce.
JP?
Spoon.
A spoon. This is amazing. What kind of spoon?
A spoon. A jigging spoon.
A jigging spoon, like a cotton cordell, a CC, a little frickin' what's the other one? Acme, you know the one I'm talking about. Hopkins, Shorty.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know where JP's going with that big win, but I know where I'll be.
All right.
Well,
How hard?
how big are these winds?
Well, I said west every day, and it's going to shift northwest the last day. 10 to 15, because Ontario's never calm.
Okay.
Are you running to the river, JP, or staying in the lake?
I'm gonna fish in the river.
The mouth of the river? I have an
No.
idea. Oh, you're going in the river. Travis, you
Yep.
staying in the lake?
No,
Where are you going?
I'll be in the river.
Mouth of the river or in the river?
In the river.
How deep are you fishing, JP?
Anywhere between 17 and 30.
Travis, how deep are you fishing?
4 to 8.
Whoa, this is completely different. I think I know where Travis is going, but I'm not saying. Wow, this is fascinating. All right, man. West wind 10 to 15, both in the river and not the lake in April. Water temps what? Just take a stab.
47. I told you.
Okay, 47. What'd you say, JP? Maybe
I
I
said
missed that.
around 50, 51. What time of April is this? The beginning of April? The end of April?
You guys pick it. Pick it. What do you
Second.
want it to be? Second week in April, right in the middle of the month. All right, what's the winning weight going to be second week of April? Water temp 47 to 50.
For a 3-day event?
3-day.
32.
Yeah, about 100 pounds.
Wow, 100 pounds. Who's going to win?
Probably some random dude.
Yeah,
You're gonna
neither
bring
of us.
you're gonna bring. Okay, so let me just add another twist. They open it up for all the best in the elites and MLF to go fishing, like top pros, the Johnstons, all the small.
Nobody got practice.
Nobody got practice. It is stone cold. Yeah, information's open too. By the way, they can do anything they want.
I don't know then.
Yeah. 32 a day. Wow. So, JP, you obviously have waypoints you're going to go to, right? Because you're saying no practice. You don't even need to check. You just know where they're going to be.
Areas, yeah.
How many areas are you going to run right out of the gate?
7.
7 areas. Travis, how many areas are you going to run right out of the gate?
So the problem is JP is going to be in a different zone. He's going to check on that rock. I guarantee you that, which is mine.
Oh,
Okay.
no, I wouldn't go to that rock.
Oh, you wouldn't?
No, I wouldn't.
Or do we go?
I just told you I would be 17 to 35
30
feet deep.
Even though that rock's pretty close to your 30-foot zone?
It's about a half a mile, but it would be tempting, but I wouldn't do that to you because I'm not like that.
Travis, have we fished that rock together?
We have.
Okay, I think I know the rock. Oh, I think I definitely know the rock. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay, this is interesting. Dang. So you guys are going to be close to each other at some
You
point
also
during the
know
day.
where JP's going to be.
I think now that you mention it, I think I got it in my mind. I do.
You ever see me catch a couple on a silver buddy?
I know exactly where he's going.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow. Very interesting how that sets up. Isn't it funny? I know. I can think as soon as you guys mention those things in my mind, I've got the picture in my mind. That is the most difficult spot I have ever fished with Travis. The one you're going to go fish, JP. I could not get it going. It was hilarious, man. I thought it was the bait color. It wasn't. No, you just got to have a feel. I couldn't feel my hands that day. Remember, dude, we mashed them in the back that day, and then you wanted to do that something different and film that blade bait episode, and I was zero help to you. It was all on your back. We crushed them. But man, was I cold. I literally couldn't feel my hands. I'm sure I had 5 or 6 fish on. I could not feel the bite.
It's probably the funnest way to catch a bass.
On a jigging spoon or a blade bait?
Both.
I've never seen Travis throw a jigging spoon on Ontario.
No,
No. Only a blade. If
ever?
you're going metal, I've never seen you throw
You've never seen me throw a spoon?
a jigging spoon. No. No, that would be a fun bite because, you know, I mean, I guess it's a little bit, what is, you're kind of like, JP, is it like this? Is it like this? And you follow the semi-slack down?
Yeah.
And how many pumps are you giving it? Like, is it like one?
I give one aggressive.
2?
You're pumping it hard, bud.
Yeah. You're really snapping it.
Mhm.
What's your jigging spoon setup, JP?
I use a actually I use the Douglas. It's a 7-foot medium bait caster, LRS, and 6-to-4-to-1 lose super spool with 15 pound fluorocarbon.
All right, now I'm going to throw a wrench in this one. So day 1 you can use live scope. Day 2 you got to go dark. Mapping.
I'm still going deep.
I'm fine.
Travis, I know you're fine in 48. You can see in 10 to 12. All right, interesting. This is cool. Wow. 32 a day. What place do you think you come in with all the studs in the world fishing that same tournament? 200 boats. Actually, first prize with 200 boat is $250,000.
No. I would have a shot.
Yeah, so you're still not going to practice, even though the prize is now $250,000.
I thought you said there was no practice.
No, I'm saying you had 1 day of practice.
Yeah, of course I'm going to practice.
You practicing, JP?
Yeah, if you gave us 1 day, I thought we agreed there was no practice.
I don't know. I thought maybe I just didn't say that, but maybe I'm changing my mind because this is my fantasy tournament. God, I would pay money to watch you guys. I'd sponsor your boat. Entry fees, $10,000. Are you still doing it?
Ooh.
All the top
Grand?
regionals. $10,000 to enter, 250 to win, 200 people, including pros.
I'm not entering it.
I don't think 10 grand's. I think that should be that don't make sense, bud.
All right, five grand. It's $1 million of entry fees, and it pays way down.
Well, wait, Eric said that he was going to sponsor us, bud. So
Yeah,
I
I
would
would
the
totally.
entry fee is. I'm still fishing.
I'd give you both $2,500. If a tournament like that ever comes, I'm writing you a check, Travis, for $2,500. I might write you the $5,000 check, Travis.
I'll do 5.
All right, cool. Cool. I sure hope it comes. That'd
Never
be fun. You don't.
Never.
You don't. Never. No, it won't.
Mm-mm.
That'd be something, though. What a spectacular event that would be. Pros and Joes.
It's my favorite time. It's definitely my favorite time to fish.
April.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have to say I love that April-May time frame. Although that November trip was a lot of fun, bro.
I mean, there really isn't a bad time. It's just
honestly, there's never been a bad trip with you out there, other than being as cold as I've ever been in my life.
Right.
Multiple times. Like,
what about that? What about that? The 1 week after the 90% of the fish just came off beds, though, Travis. That week kind of
sucked.
It's a lot of work.
So you're talking about post spawn blues?
The immediate, like that 1 week when most of the fish have just pulled off, and then they're in that transition, and yeah, there's that 1 week where it's kind of it's.
Yeah, but I mean, I've been learning a lot too, JP. I think things are different too.
How do you generate bites during that time?
I'm telling you right now, guys, we flogged and we caught fish in that 20 to 30 in their summer spots.
So they went right offshore?
They get onto their stuff pretty quick.
So they started healing up right away.
I don't even know. I think maybe they spawned there too. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah. I really do. I think it's interesting. Every year's different. It's going to be interesting to see how this year plays out up here.
Yeah,
it's going to be freaking good, man. It's finally got one of them nice cold winters where it's going to be actually Panger, I think, was just talking about it today on his I don't want to steal his sentence, but when he said it, it resonated. It's like when you get those exaggerated warm winters where nothing really changes dramatically like that.
Yeah.
You know, the fish seem to just spawn and it's over with quicker. But then when you get that real hard, cold winter, right? Then you're going to get that really good pre-spawn bite, and then you get that movement up shallow, right? And they're spawning and everything, and it'd be good again, like it was a couple years ago.
I hope
Yeah.
I hope the moss isn't as bad this year in the spring.
Oh, well, I mean, that hard winter should maybe take care of some of that. I mean, if it had a lot of light penetration, Travis, that's why it kept growing.
Yeah.
Abnormally high temps, you get that moss starting to firm. You got nothing to knock it back. Hopefully that.
It was bad.
Oh, dude, I know. That was a change.
The worst moss I ever saw was when I flew to Wisconsin.
Yeah.
That was horrible.
Moss Moon Johnson.
You couldn't even throw a bottom bait.
Did you guys watch the Bass After Dark episode, which had how to catch the smallmouth of your life and the guys that they had on it?
No.
I'd be curious to get your input. I think they had who's the guy that caught the New York State record? Dante.
Yep.
Dante was on. Another smallmouth specialist, and then the guy from Idaho, Joey something. Is it Joey Walton?
Yeah, I guess they just used me for Dante's contact information instead of learning how to catch big smallmouth. Thanks, Bass After Dark.
I thought for sure they were going to have you on as the fourth guest.
Oh, that's
or the first guest. I mean, you're like the smallmouth specialist on the internet, right? I mean, you almost caught that New York State record with me. And I mean, I caught the New York State record the first time I was on Ontario. You put me on that fish.
That's right.
So, JP, I will say this. So I'm on Ontario with Travis for the first time, cold out of my mind, like big waves. I'm freaked out, standing in the middle, right? We're out there on the main lake. They're rollers, they're 4-footers. It's cloudy, it's windy. I got my rabbit hat on, I got Ugg boots on, I got down shit underneath my, my guide wear, like insulated guide wear. I'm warm. I must tell you, I'm warm. I'm okay. We're not catching many fish out in the main lake, man. There's not a lot of bait out there. And I just asked Travis, do you think if we move towards a creek mouth, we might see some bait? And as soon as we got near that creek mouth, plumes. I don't know what, perch, Travis? Were they perch?
I believe so.
Yeah. There was smallmouth everywhere. That's where I caught the New York State record. Pector fin, big as my hand. Travis, you know it was a New York State record. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Okay.
That fish was 9.5 pounds. If he was 6, it was 9.5.
It was big.
That was a giant. Anthony Guy says he loves penetrating the moss.
Shout out to Anthony Guys. He calls Big JP once a week just to see how I'm doing.
He calls you? How do you get your number?
Yeah, I gave it to him.
Anthony Geis never called me. I'd sure like to talk to Anthony Geis once a week. Anthony, you want to check in on me? Hit me up on Instagram. I'll give you my number.
Yeah, he's a physical fitness mentor or whatever.
Holy hell. You're hired, Anthony. I need fucking help.
That's what he does, right? So then I send him pictures of my dinners all the time.
I thought you were going to say you send him pictures of your body all the time, and I was just going to have a fit. Okay, thank God.
I'm not sending body shots to nobody, but this is nothing to look at here. Come on.
All right. So
first of all,
go ahead, Travis. Lay it on us, man.
I would also offer the invitation to Anthony have to check in with me, but between you two, I can't keep up.
What are you even saying, dude? I call you once a week, maybe.
Yeah, I literally text you every Monday to see if we're going on live or not because I've given up on calling you because this is a conversation with Travis, guys. Ring.
Well,
I mean, this is our conversations.
I like when Travis holds up the phone for evidence. He has done this over the years on the streams, but you see the blue as Travis's one-word responses.
Yep. This is what he says, guys. Ring. Sup. Hey,
Sup.
Travis, what's going on, man? It's your good friend JP just calling in to see how you're doing. Okay, that's cool, man. Well, what's new? Nada. Okay, well, here's what I'm doing today, and I kind of explain what's going on, and then I
Yeah.
get no response, and I go, all right, well, that was a great talk, man. I'll talk to you later. Okay. Click.
All right, so guys, everybody that's watching, I want you guys to pull this up on YouTube. The last guide, I've pretty much sent this to everybody, and I sent it to Travis. I sent it to Big JP. Big JP watches it, texted me back, dude. I've been in tears the whole time I'm watching this, man. My wife just asked me what's wrong with me, and I had to tell her it's tears of what? Kind of like joy and a little bit of
Yeah,
sadness, I'm sure, right?
Tears of happiness, really.
Yeah, just the beauty of his life and the beauty of the connect. And I was really shocked, Travis, that there had been many times on this stream. So it's the last guide on YouTube for anybody listening, and go check it out. It hit me hard. It hit me at my soul level, you know, just for the content and the man that I'm watching in his life. And his name is Frank, and he guided in Algonquin State Park for forever. And you know, it's about his life, and big tribute to him in my mind. It was a great story.
This guy's
I
got
mean,
more
Trev,
canoes. He's
yeah,
got canoes hidden in all these little ponds up in this thing, and the guy smokes cigarettes like they're going out of style, even though they just took one of his lungs because he had lung cancer. And he's splitting his own firewood, and he's
shore
beating pike.
lunches.
He's beating pike in the head with a baseball bat and cooking shore lunches and stuff like that. And he wasn't cooking bass; he was cooking pike and lake trout and stuff like that. And then we call Travis and we ask him, Travis, what about Frank? Right? First, Eric texts him, what do you think of Frank? And
No,
Travis
I
is like,
said I texted Travis. I said it's the last guide, and then I didn't say anything else. And then I waited a couple of days just to see if he would watch it, because you know he's a guide. There have been many times where Travis has said, "I wish I could live in the 1800s to feel what it, you know, to experience what it was like to live off the land." And I'm like, this guy was as close as it gets.
yeah.
He's in the North Woods of Canada. I mean, I could see Travis doing this, right? I said, this has to touch him some way, somehow. He's going to identify with this. And then based on the last week's stream conversation, everyone is me. And so I sent him, everyone is me, or I am everyone. And then I said, you are Frank. And
You are Frank.
I'm kind of waiting. I'm like, that's got to get him, right? Like, he's into the meditation. He had this incredible thought. We identified on some planes about the experience, the journey. I mean, this guy's experienced the land, or this, whatever you want to call it, Travis. I'm like, he's got to watch this. He's got to watch it. I don't know if he's watched it.
Oh, so
But
listen, so here's what happened. So me and Eric are on the phone, because me and Eric talk on the phone all the time, almost daily.
right.
And he tells me that he said that I am everyone and you are Frank. So I waited a couple of hours, right, guys? And I text Travis and I go, how's your day going, buddy? He goes, spectacular, or something like that. And I go, well, what about Frank? And he goes, I don't know who this Frank guy is. Eric's asking me about Frank. You're asking me about Frank. Who's Frank? And why are you asking me about him? And I go, the last guide, dude. I go, just take 45 minutes out of your life and watch this video. It's kind of touching. And he goes, I forced myself to watch it and I felt nothing. Don't know what to say.
Travis, are you being for real? Did you really watch it?
I did.
And you really felt nothing?
I've been moved by a lot of other videos, not that.
How is that even possible, man? I guess we hardly know you, man. Tell us about a video that moved you.
I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I will say this.
When you say moved you in what way? Tell me the emotion you were feeling by these other videos you watched.
Excitement.
What do you mean? Like, define excitement in your mind in a video. Keep it clean, though, for the
motivation.
Kids watching. Meaning motivating you to do something with your life, kind of thing, where that moves you in an excited way?
Yeah.
Do you feel sadness?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Have you watched anything that made you feel sad recently?
Not recently, no.
Okay. What was the last thing you watched that made you feel sad?
That'd be a hard one. I don't really have anything in my recent memory.
Okay.
When's the last time you were sad?
Well, I'm sad right now, JP.
Why?
Why?
Why not?
Why would you want to be sad? Why would you want sadness to be like a regular part of your reality?
Oh, Well,
Well, let him answer the question.
that's a
Not
good
why
question.
he wants to be sad, but what's making him sad.
I will say this: I enjoyed the video. I thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
But it didn't do a whole lot as far as what I look for in some sort of film.
Okay. That's
You
fair.
know,
What do you look for in a film? This is a film about a real person
something
Well-
that would get me motivated or excited.
to
or,
do something new, to explore, to go
Yeah,
somewhere,
stuff
to
like
try
that,
something
exactly.
new. Okay, that's fair. I
Um,
gotcha.
I mean, I don't want to sound. I'll just tell you.
Go ahead.
I felt like I'd be able to catch a lot more fish than Frank. I did.
When I sent you the video,
To be honest, I thought I set the hook way more than Frank's setting the hook.
when I sent you that video, I knew you'd feel that way.
He's
And
not. They don't know where to throw that white spinner bait they were throwing around.
I knew that you would think that way. I just did. I did. But I think it was more. The film wasn't about necessarily how many fish he caught. You
But
missed
just
the
that he
point.
I get the concept. Listen, it was a cool concept.
Right.
It just didn't move me, I guess, in the way that you're expecting it to move me.
No, not. No, we know you're very different. I was just curious to see if that would reach you in a way. This is what I was thinking. Not that you would have cried about it, right? Not that it would have brought you to tears, but like, wow, he did something I've thought about doing, like experiencing. Because so far as I know, you've
The dude
never
got a lake
been.
named after his wife. That dude was the man.
Okay, it's time out.
But do you know what? Like,
Wait. Let me
living on
rephrase
dirt
that.
floors, living in a cabin.
Wait.
It's hard to go back there.
If you were to, if I was to say, is there anything that touched me out of that? That was a good point.
Okay.
His love for his wife and naming a lake after her.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So yes, that was a moving or a
Sentimental.
Yeah. Yes. So no, I'm not a lizard person. I'm not like you know.
Well, what about the niece? The niece that realized that the dream was going to die when Frank died. So she set aside her life and created a relationship with her uncle that became so strong that he passed down all the experience that he had to her in his dying days.
Did you
drew a
see the
map
way
where
she
every
held
one of
the
the
fishing
hidden
pole,
canoes are.
JP?
I saw the fishing poles. That's not the point. Like they said in the beginning of the movie, there's going to be bass boats and there's going to be fish finders and there's going to be technology. But this was the essence of what a guide trip was. That it is a dying trip. That trip right there. I'm not talking about the guys out on Lake Ontario in the walleye boats catching 25 5-pound smallmouth and filleting them up for lunch. I'm talking about a man that gets in a canoe and he oars you out there. And when you get the pike of a lifetime, he beats it to death with a wooden handle.
Yeah.
He
And
slaps
all
that
those smallmouth he
slaps.
killed.
He slaps that motherfucker in the bottom of that canoe.
And all those smallmouth.
Listen, let me have my moment. He pulls the Marlboro out of his pocket. He puts it in his wrinkly face and he lights it. And he takes a huge drag off the Marlboro. And you know he enjoyed it so freaking much, even though he had lung cancer. And
No,
then
he rolled his own.
rowing.
He rolled his own, bro. He didn't
And he
buy
starts
Marlboro.
rowing, dude.
Yeah.
And this dude's rowing with all he's got left in him to get to the shore so he can go and get wintergreen leaves so that when you're done eating that pickled sandwich with bologna on it and pike fillet, that you can chew a piece of wintergreen to have a nice fresh mint in your mouth before you go back out and catch another fish. That was life. That was awesome.
That's what I thought you would get out of the life experience, like with, like bare bones, man, a wooden oar, a handful of lures, man, no electronics,
Yeah,
no
his fishing equipment
GPS.
sucked, but
I mean,
he's
using a map, I mean, it wasn't about the way he cast it. I mean, or way she held the fishing reel. I mean, you see the way you cast? Are you kidding me? Come on now. Don't be throwing stones. I mean,
Hold up. Time out.
Let's go.
Actually, I do have to make a statement.
Yes, please.
That girl in that video is the only girl I've ever seen cast a spinning rod the way I do.
Oh, yup.
I mean, well, I mean, interestingly enough,
So I took 2 things from this.
is it
I took 4
destiny?
things from this.
Is it
One,
destiny?
it was very nice that he named the lake after his wife.
Yes.
Touchy.
Yeah.
2, the girl cast like I did.
Yes.
It's destiny. That's what
3,
I just said. You are Frank. He taught her to cast that way. You are Frank. What are the odds that the thing I see, to think of sending it to you first, to see the destiny of that is undeniable. I've never seen anybody cast that way. There's something here, bro. The universe.
I guess why I didn't like it felt like
on
my
that.
life. It's just me on the trolling motor looking at my live scope, casting the bait, and nobody's around. It's a lonely place.
Well, he wasn't lonely because you know what? The solitude of the forest was his friend.
Mm-hmm.
The past, the maps, the
I'm
lake,
not
the
only
water.
that aspect, but there's other
earth.
aspects, right?
Yeah, I mean that's a solitary existence. You're right. Much like you're experiencing this winter. There's a lot of parallels, bro. So maybe that's why it didn't hit you, because you are Frank.
That could be. That could be.
Anyway, very interesting conversation. Of course, we knew we were going to bring an interesting angle to it. I'm not that guy.
And first of all, I am teaching Cole to cast like I do.
Okay, tell us why.
Because I think that's the only proper way to cast.
Tell us why. What are the advantages? More exercise?
I can't cast like a normal person.
Why would you teach it the right way?
Hey, did you see that guy on Instagram that's stealing your videos now, Travis?
What?
Oh, yeah, there's a guy on Instagram. I was scrolling today, and all of a sudden, I'm watching this video, and I'm like, I'm 10 seconds into the video, and I'm like, that's Travis. And it was, you were down on the Chesapeake Bay, and you were in some dock shoot, and the guy came out, the Marina Master, and he was telling you had to leave, and you were like, you can call the police. This is going to make a great video for me. I'm not leaving. And you had to explain to the guy what navigable water was. But it wasn't, you didn't post the video, somebody else did. And then people in the comments were like, I can't remember the guy's name, but so-and-so, you're a legend. So I put in there hashtag Travis Manson. This video is a fraud.
No, people
can repost.
Yeah,
I can repost that video. Like I could take Travis's video and repost it.
It was a TikTok video. I saw it about a year ago.
It's up to me to tag Travis in the video.
It got like hundreds of thousands of views for the guy.
Right. I'm sure. It's a good one. Hell, I might repost it. Tag you up. I'm sure he got a few followers. Who's the guy's name? JP?
I don't remember. I didn't screenshot it.
Oh, he should have sent it to Travis, but he was on TikTok.
I put at Travis Manson in the comments so that Travis would see it. But
it should be at SmallmouthCrush, otherwise I wouldn't see it, bud.
Oh, well, I suck at life, you know.
You certainly do at times.
We got to sharpen those social media skills. So who wants to see some of the gems that I picked up?
Oh yeah, Eric, what's new at the Bass Lab this week?
Oh man, I appreciate you asking, man. Well, I don't know how many people saw it, but you know, I might as well show the cool new Susky Muskie and Susky Smalley stickers. Right? What happened to Travis? Is he out? He's gone. He did a JP. Well, that's it. Show's over. JP, it's just me and you. And
yeah, he's in the background watching.
You know he is. He's going to come back on right as we start to have a lot of fun.
Oh yeah,
this is pretty cool.
I think this has been a pretty good episode so far.
Me too. Who has seen this? Who has seen the Kitech Rumble Blade jig? Have you ever seen that, JP?
No.
Has anybody that's watching still seen this Rumble? I'm going to take it out of the package. You guys got to tell me if anybody's seen this. I'm really curious now. Check this out, dude. Look at that gaff hook on that thing. Look how big that hook is. And check this out. Has anybody seen this? Dan, You threw it on Grand Lake. What's the action like? Check out the blade configuration. I imagine that would come over cover pretty good. Does it? It's a vibrating type of jig, JP.
Yeah.
See that? What do you guys think? Dan, tell me what you think of it. I'm curious. It got me. I had to do it. Here's another little bait that I picked up. This is pretty wild, JP. Never seen it before. This is a rattle trap, right? Check out what happened to JP.
I don't know what's going on. JP, please get back in here.
Now he's gone. Yeah, now he's back. JP. JP. Oh, he's frozen. Travis. All right, so check out this. This is a regular trap, right? It's from Japan. It's got a pretty cool color, but check this out, that you can put this little metal lip in the front of the bait. So when I'm dragging over a rock, it kind of pings around on the rock instead of getting snagged and comes over cover. Maybe, but you could take it out. What happened, JP? Your phone ran out. Now we got two JPs.
Which JP do you want?
Get rid of it. There you go. Yeah, that one there.
See that,
Sorry
guys?
about that.
Anybody seen this? So JP, it's a regular rattle
metal
trap.
fall out?
No, you really got to push this pin in. It's got a little hole in the front. Can you see that? Now I'm going to install this metal lip. There's a crankbait that had a metal lip around a lip. It's called the Rumble, I think. So this one is called. Go ahead. So I mean, I really had to push Travis. That's not coming out.
Yeah, I was just thinking of this. You guys, please remind me
idea.
this spring.
And it's called the Volbeat. Volbeat for anybody that's interested. Volbeat.
Try to remind me this spring, Eric, to
Go
throw
ahead.
a lipless more.
Oh, I totally will. I'll bring this up because I want to drag this along the rocks. This would be perfect.
I got
Travis, I got two of them. And of course, the other one I love in dragging around rocks is the TN, the small TN, like the TN50 with that tungsten out.
Yeah,
it's got a couple different
there's
versions.
A lot of the old, I got some real good favorite smaller, lipless quarter ounce stuff like that.
Okay, cool.
I definitely want to do that, and it's something I used to do it all the time, and I just stopped.
I totally will do it, and
I do like that bait,
guys.
Yeah, what's so special about that?
All right, so here's the difference. This is a red eye shad. Now you only can find the red-eyed with a D.
All that is the Mandela effect.
No. It's true. It's true. Look at the new packaging. Look it up right now. Share the screen. You'll see what I'm talking about. This is made out of the old milky plastic butyrate. The guys that really love traps really know. So no joke. No joke. I also found two original Killer Bee brass hardware with lead in the lip. This is the hardest. I got the shad color, which I'm probably going to throw a little purple on there to make it a royal shad, and baby bass. But lead in the lip, brass hardware, cheap. And when you're going to yard sales and or flea markets and or bass shows, you can deal with those people. Pay cash. You'll save yourself some tax and you'll get a better price. And then the other thing I found was I love the crack finish on this Daiwa peanut. Travis, I think you probably scored some fish on the Upper Bay in your time. This is a deep dive in Daiwa peanut and that crack foil on the side, like Lucky Craft. That is a bad little, it's not chrome, but it's got that rainbow effect, which I absolutely love. It's a great little finesse crankbait for cranking around on my rivers in the spring. And I imagine smallmouth would eat this up in the right color for sure, like a goby color.
Eric, have you ever fished Lake Eufaula in Alabama? I
have not.
Okay.
But hey, I want to show you guys something I'm really excited about. I'm carrying this at the Bass Lab now, JP. This is by the maker of the Cavatron buzzbait. You probably caught a fish on a Cavatron in your day, didn't you, JP?
Probably not.
Okay, I don't know if you throw buzzbaits a lot, but this is the new baby buzz, and I want you to check out a couple things. It's got a bend, pre-bend in the blade. I mean, in the wire, which is thinner wire than most. What I like about that bend and that bead on the front, it keeps grass off it. It's got an anodized blade. I need to crimp that down, or you can take this off, rough up the rivet, flatten it. Watch the buzzbait episode on the live that I did with Travis. It's one of his most popular. Just click all Travis's lives, go to most popular, and the #1 video that will come up is the buzzbait episode where I did the hacking. So this is the baby buzz available on the Bass Lab in multiple colors. I've got, chartreuse and white with a gold blade. You can get it with a silver blade, bluegill, white, black, 5 colors there. I put them live tonight. And for those who order tonight, I'm going to offer some old school skirts on me. And this is one of my favorite trailers for buzzbait fishing. Big JP. A lot of people throw the toad. It's a little too much meat for me.
What is that?
This is a Z-Crawl Jr.
Can you pull it out?
Yeah, sure. Z-Crawl Jr. This is one of my favorite colors. This is called Green Pumpkin Flash. You'll see that it's got silver flake and black flake in it. It's got a green pumpkin bottom.
What is this?
This is a Z-Crawl Jr. Z-Crawl Jr.
How big is that?
That's only about 3 inches. I'll bite it. I'll cut it down, and then I'll jam it. Take the skirt off of this because this is not.
Hold that up again, bud.
Yeah, right there. Z-Crawl Jr.
Let me see everything on it. Let me see that whole thing.
By Zoom. See the chrome on the bottom?
Yeah, can I make a couple statements?
Tell me.
Well, I don't know if I should.
Well, don't. Don't, because this has won me some money.
No.
I've won some tournaments on it.
So the
So
poor
wait.
boy.
Yeah, go ahead.
The darter.
Man, that's interesting.
Yeah, and
Let me see that tail again, bud.
Sure. And there's some really unique colors to this.
I know you want to throw in a buzz bait, and that's cool. I'm not interested.
No, I flipped this too. So that's the good thing about this. When you have this, it is a great swim jig trailer. You can rig it on a chatterbait vertical. It's probably one of the most versatile things in my bag, right? You can flip it. You could even Nico.
Why have I not ever seen that in my life?
You could power shot it. You could free rig it. You can Texas rig it. You could almost punch it because it's pretty slim, right?
Huh.
I love that it has the ribs. It holds scent if you're a scent guy, and it makes one hell of a buzzbait trailer. And again, I already said swim jig chatterbait. Just rig it on a chatterbait this way, not flat. This way.
I'm sorry, guys. I've never seen this bait.
Yeah. And so, I take the skirt off this buzzbait like this, and then what I'll do is I'll jam it on the head of my buzzbait with a drop of super glue.
I'm sure it's been around for a long time, but I just...
This is one of the most compact buzzbaits on the market. I love the bite gap. A lot of buzzbaits. This is something for you guys to look about buzzbaits. If there's not a lot of distance between the blade and the hook point, it can be tough to hook up. For a compact buzzbait of a 1/4 ounce, this has a lot of bite gap, right? I like it. It's got the flat head for planing. The cups on these blades are patented, and the blade's patented. I would crimp down the rivet, or if you watch the buzzbait episode, like I just talked about,
I got to figure out this internet, but keep going.
Yeah. It's Travis's most popular live. Just again, click on all live shows popular and the tab popular, and then you'll come up with the buzzbait episode. But I'm gonna bite like the first 3 sections of it, and I'm gonna rig it. I want, depending upon where I'm fishing, if I'm trying to imitate a shad, I'm going to put the silver side down. If I'm trying to imitate a gill, I'll put the green pumpkin side down. Just depends on what bait fish you're trying to imitate for that time of year. And then I'm just going to rig it on straight. I'm not going to put the super glue guys on, but watch how far I can jam this thing up on this head. Certainly it's going to get onto the keeper, and that is just like literally the perfect body. It gives you a lot of kick. You can zip this thing around on 30-pound braid like a mile, and the bite is tremendous. This is a finesse style buzzbait made by the guy who made the Cavitron. You've got that little R bend in the wire, and that lean back right there allows it to come through cover. It's a dynamite bait. Hookup ratio is great, and I just listed them on the Bass Lab. And for those people who want to order tonight, I'm going to throw in some old school skirts in colors you probably have never seen. If you've never thrown a Fire Tiger buzzbait in ultra clear water, let me say this one more time. If you've never thrown a Fire Tiger buzzbait in ultra clear water, you will surprise yourself. The other thing I've got in the old school skirt is black and white, which really imitates, a shad, but it gives you 2 of the colors, the most popular colors on a buzzbait, black and white, all in one skirt. This is silicone material, but it acts like flat rubber. It is that thin. Look at that, JP. So the
That's
action
nice.
and flow. So for spinner baits, if your spinner bait skirt's done, this is a great style skirt, which will give you more flow than you've ever seen. And then the other color I'm going to throw in is kind of like this lime truce, chartreuse. It's got yellow, which speaks bluegill to me, and green and white, and then black and yellow. During the bluegill spawn, black and yellow frog, black and yellow buzzbait, forget about it. There you go, man. That's what's new at the Bass Lab.
Eric,
We
have you
found
ever
some.
zip tied a buzzbait to an antenna on your truck when you're driving to the next tournament so that thing just
There's a lot of ways you can tune up a buzzbait, right? So you can rust the rivets, which I talk about on the show. I find steel rivets, not stainless steel rivets, right? Rust them in salt water. You can do it in Coca-Cola. Apparently, somebody told me it's a much faster way to do it. I scratch the arm up of the buzzbait. So I'll bend this little thing out right here. Carefully take off this rivet. If I have a rusted rivet, I'm going to put it on, right? Then the next thing I do is I'll flatten the front eye of the rivet with my pair of needle nose pliers to make more surface area between that and the blade. Then I'll make sure the blade has complete contact against that rivet. I'll rough up the arm with a file, with a metal file, and then you can open the holes of the front and back of the blade. It's gonna shorten the life of your buzz bait. And then what I do, and you could do it many different ways. You can stick them to a fan. You don't have time to your, antenna, because I don't even have an antenna on my car, right? Or I run them underwater. And I feel like that just gets the groove going and it gets that squeal going right out of the gate. I only do that for tournament fishing. Otherwise, I'm just going to fish until it starts squealing right. You know what I mean? So don't care. The thinner wire on this gets a lot of vibration in that bait, which equals more bites. That's a hell of a trailer, and it's a super versatile trailer in your bag. So there you go, man. That's what's up, and that's what's new at the Bass Lab. Finesse buzz baits, just like finesse crankbaits, just like finesse anything. It's got to be part of your game. Love these baits.
Man,
That's
we
what's new.
appreciate the weekly update from the Bass Lab here on Smallmouth Crush. We look forward to Epic Eric's new tips, tricks, and baits that he's got for sale on the Bass Lab every week, Monday, live at 8 p.m.
That's
Thank
right.
you.
So there's a quick little mini bait hack section for you right there on how to tune up a buzzbait, because I love buzzbait fishing. It will generate big bites, and buzzbait season starts for me when the water temps in the low 50s. The low 50s. Those big girls are shallow sometimes. Check your lake. Once they move up, not a lot of people throw it, but that's a way to get a big
Oh,
bite.
man. Anthony Geis is tapping out. He's got kids to put to bed. He's probably got some legs to rub himself, and he's going to bed, boys.
Oh, one more thing, man. I just restocked my football jigs and my everlasting drop shotters. So if you're interested, they're there. They don't last long. I don't make a lot of them. It's, it's winter time. I'm tying. They're there. They're there. And I thought I'd do a little giveaway tonight, Travis.
Oh, that's lovely. Let's
What
let's
should,
talk.
what should the giveaway be?
Man, I don't know.
JP, what should the giveaway be? Do you want to ask a trivia question? Do you want to go for the funniest comment? Do you want to do a randomizer? Travis, what do you think? Do you just want to give somebody that you have seen in the comments that you really like the dialogue? They've been a real good guest tonight. What do you think, man? Let me tell you what the giveaway is before you decide. I'll let you guys marinate and think on that for a second. So I'm going to give you my Muskie Smalley Killer Box. I'm going to put a couple of my jigs and drop shotters in here for the lucky winner. And maybe another surprise or two. And, of course, a sticker pack. All right, how do we draw the giveaway guy or gal? JP, no pressure. No pressure.
Man, I don't know. I don't know, Eric.
One more thing.
Yeah.
Golden Shiner TG. This is the TG, tungsten chatterbait in Golden Shiner. And why I like it is that blade is like a brass. So for tannic water down in Florida, I like brass more than gold. But what I'm gonna one up this. You know what I'm gonna put on the bottom of that blade, JP? Take a guess. What am I gonna add to the bottom of that brass blade? Just the bottom, so I get a little bit more flash.
A little orange, probably.
No,
Ooh, yeah.
Lucky Craft Gold Magic Scales. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Where did you get the tungsten jackhammer?
You can get them. You can get them overseas. They're out there. Just Google it on eBay. They'll come up on eBay and some Japanese websites. Yeah, the TG ones, they've got a white with a white blade. I'm not sure how long the paint lasts, but you know those cloudy conditions when you might throw a spinnerbait with white blades versus silver blades, right? Don't sleep on that tip if you're into throwing spinnerbaits, because I'm still cashing checks on them.
I'm trying to figure out why Gino Boava's still up. The dude was up at 2 o'clock this morning plowing snow. All he did was bitch all day that he was tired. Told me after last week's live he was never watching another live again. And he's been in the comments all night long.
Why? Because it was that bad?
Yeah, you guys can find my jigs. Just Google Epic Eric's Bass Lab. Epic Eric's Bass Lab. I forgot to tell everybody where you can get the stickers and all sorts of stuff. And a lot of people have been asking me. I showed this on the show. I might have showed it on the Hack Show, but I'm turning these little white boxes into really cool accessory boxes. This is my Nico box. It's got a Bass Lab, so you have labeled.
Oh, I've
Nico.
got one of them boxes.
Yeah, I made it for Gino and Travis. You know, I know you don't need any extra tackle, but I'd be happy to make one for you. You can stick it in your pocket. I make a drop shot one. But what's cool about this is see how my Nico hooks lay out really nicely. And then on the backside, you got that little backside extra compartment. There, your Nico weights. I do this with drop shots too. I keep hooks in there and, you know, weights in the front. But when I'm fishing, if I break off, I don't want to have to go and dig into my box. So it's about speed and efficiency. And I just think they're cool. I like to pawn hop a little bit. So I do one that's called mixed, JP, mixed. So I have Nico hooks, wacky weights in the back, and I just carry it around. So I'm thinking about making up just a limited number for people because a couple people have asked me to do that. So anyway, if you're interested, let me know. And I could load up hooks in them for different price points, like my favorite Nico hooks, and I would write a note to you to tell you what it is so you can buy it yourself.
Nice.
There you go. Oh yeah, Google.
I think Eric
Epic,
should think of a number between 1 and 20, and the first person in the comments to get the number right gets the gift pack.
That's a good idea.
It makes everybody have to be engaged here. So guys, the first person to guess the number between 1 and 20 that Eric says is right gets the prize pack. Flockmaster came in with 19. Ant's got 15.
I got it. I haven't seen it yet.
Can you put it in the
Nobody's got it.
Private chat, Eric?
Josh Cope just got it. Lucky 7, man. I'm all about Lucky 7, man. Lucky 7 wins the day. Josh Cope, if you're on Instagram, send me a note, please, with your address and how I can send this out to you. So congratulations. You're the lucky winner of the loaded Susky Smallies tackle box. That's what it looks like on the inside. So what's nice about this is some of my hair jigs. This is a new version I'm going to be putting out. It's full marabou with a Helgi tail on the back, all black. Travis, you think we could smash a few on that?
I think so.
Maybe you'll get one of those. Maybe you'll get 2 of those. Yeah. But look how nice they fit in there, man. That's pretty tight, and they dry out nice because the foam. You keep your marabou all nice and tight right there. Boom. Boom.
Man, I'll tell you what, you want to get somebody in the audience motivated, give something away and have them pick a number. That was the biggest comment dump of the night right there.
Who's new tonight?
So anyway, Travis, how trimmed back did you go with the beard, bud? It looks like it's almost pretty much shaved off now.
Yeah, I went back quite a bit.
I thought we were going for who had the longest beard by the time we saw each other in the spring. That was the whole reason I grew the stupid thing.
I'm not sure. Sometimes I just get mad and I'll just start shaving it off all the way.
You shaved it yourself?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Gino just came in with 9. He must have stepped away. It was Lucky 7, Gino. Lucky 7. Lucky 7. Well, that's a cool stream, man. Talked about how to locate fish. Talked about Frank. Got to learn a little bit about Travis and how he feels. Thank you, Travis, for sharing. Mm-hmm. I think it's really crazy that that girl casts exactly like you do.
Very odd.
I am everyone.
Well, Waves Current Ice said that Travis evidently casts like a girl.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey, Mark Marini says, Eric, I just wanted to say a big thank you to you and Frost and Austin for inspiring me to get into the glide bait game. I've caught more fish than it on this year than ever before, including his new PB. How
Wow.
cool! How cool is that?
Wow.
That's one thing I'd like to do with you a little bit, man. If we could get like some big, I mean, to do the day you threw that that 250 the depth, so sick. The
Mm.
number of bass that followed that thing in. I mean, it was high sun, no wind, the worst conditions possible. But I mean, I would love to throw some like S waivers out there and just see, even if a muskie eats it, who cares? You know?
Sure.
Josh Cope, I do have an email. You guys can send it to me at Eric Galasso at hotmail.com.
Have
Check
you
it
caught
out.
a muskie up there yet, Travis?
I haven't.
Sure.
I haven't caught one.
Yeah.
I want to catch one, man.
What's the depth range for them things?
I don't know, dude.
4 to 40.
Yeah, random then.
Random. Oh, the other thing I wanted to show you, I got some cool speed traps with the dimples. Nah, it's no big deal. Anyway,
I got a funny story then,
talk to us, man. What do you got?
since you brought up muskies.
Susky musky.
Hold on, J in the comments. Travis, which St. Croix are you using for jig head minnow? So I assume for shaking the minnow. I like the St. Croix Legend Elite in the 6.6 medium light. That's what I use. But I think you get away with the 7. I went shorter. I guess I don't know what I like better. I don't know. I'm just used to the 6.6 now for that. Okay. So the other day I was sitting down in a public place, and an old timer who is one of the best muskie guides around
Oh, wow.
was next to me. I mean, that was in a rare form where I actually felt like having a conversation with someone.
Yeah.
Well, I thought we would talk fishing. Now, I was asking him a lot of questions about muskie fishing. I could care less about a muskie, but I was curious just to hear his take. I guess I went a little too far, and he stopped me and said, I see what you're doing here. I was taken back quite a bit by it. See what I'm doing here? I'm just trying to act like I care about muskies, bud, and ask you some fishing questions. He thought I was trying to look for spots or how to or whatever was going through his mind. But it definitely threw me off. So yeah, that's my story for the night.
So you got slapped back into, that's the last time I open up and try to have a conversation with somebody.
Yeah, it's like, bro, I don't give a fuck about
Hey, Travis, the guy that needs my email wants me to put it on the screen, like under my name. Can you just put it up there so he can see it, because he can't watch the comments while he's driving? Do you have that power and technology?
your email.
Yeah.
What question sent him over the edge, Travis?
Do you use planer boards?
Yeah.
Let's see. It would be Eric.
Do the Eric Galasso at hotmail.com.
Oh, I will. You think it'd be easy?
Right, exactly.
It's not as easy as you think, Eric.
I know. Somebody wanted to know, was it that school teacher up there, Travis?
No.
No, Anthony, it was not. There you go. My who was that guy's name? Hold on. Josh Cope. Josh Cope, if you're still watching and driving, my email is right now on the screen so you can see it. Thanks, Travis. I appreciate that.
Oh man. All right, guys. Well, it was a fun night. I'm thankful for being able to be part of this live. I appreciate everybody as usual.
What's next, man? Is it a PHYXTV stream?
PHYXTV will be in February. We're starting that. Sorry.
No,
February.
He's got a 5-week month here, Eric. January's got 5 weeks in it this year.
Tommy, for anybody watching still that wants to know, Tommy wants to know what size line do I use on that buzz bait. I've done a lot of different things. Anywhere from 30 to 40 pound braid, depending upon the cover I'm throwing in. I might, if I think the fish are being snooty, throw a 17 to 20 pound big game leader about that long in front of the buzz bait. You know, just so it hangs down. I don't bring that knot through my guides, 18 inches, 20 inches, or 17 to 20 pound big game straight monofilament. And remember, guys, if we're using braid to any type of a leader, this goes for spinning rods too, because there's so much more direct hooking power with braid, the rod has to match the line, right? So if I'm using braid on a buzz bait, I want a little bit more moderate action, allow that fish to suck that bait in. And when you're throwing, that Z craw on the back of it, it gives it more meat for that fish to suck it in. So the hookup ratio goes up. Sometimes the skirt outperforms it. You just got to figure out what mood the fish are in, man. But both work very well for sure. But on the back of a spinner bait, that skirt pack, man, that's just got a lot of flow. And that color on the back of a buzz bait is dynamite when the bluegills are spawning. Like I said, don't sleep on the fire tiger one. There you go. That's what I would do. All right. I had to answer that one last question, Travis. You got it, Tommy. Yes, sir. Blade baits or a jigging spoon. That would
Robert's asking about the 2024 Vanfords over the 2021s. I don't know. I didn't know they made improvements on the Vanfords. My Vanfords are about 2 years old.
Upgrade those anytime soon, Travis?
I wasn't planning on it. $250 a piece. I mean,
yeah.
No.
And by the way, that skirt material that comes stock on the buzz baits, so don't feel like you have to change it out, is kind of a nice, really gummy silicone, which is going to have a lot of flow. But it looks like old living rubber, but it's not. Very cool material. Very cool material. There you go. What else? Big JP, way to bring the topic. Do you want to have a guest on next week, Travis? What does everybody want us to talk about next week? Who would you like to see return to the show? Who's been a good guest? What are the topics you guys want us to cover?
You want to see what I was doing yesterday?
Of course.
This was me on the back of this deal.
What is that? That's a snowmobile. Is that a snowmobile?
Yeah, it's funny. So there's a guide up here on why can't I think of the name of the place now?
Simcoe.
No.
I don't know. You live on Big Lakes? Are we talking about a river?
What is my problem?
I don't know, dude. JP, help him out. It's a lake, Travis.
Oh, he was ice fishing somewhere on the St. Lawrence River, I'm assuming. He's just trying to figure out what area.
Chameau Bay.
Yeah. Bay. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
And there's a guide up there, and
okay, so I decided to go on Chameau, and I was looking for a place. I was gonna just park at the main ramp, you know what I mean? But it is such a long walk out there, right?
Yep.
Like it would take from the ramp to where I wanted to go. I mean, probably a good hour. I'm not exaggerating, you know. So I called this guy. He runs his outfit out of I guess out of a house that's on near the bank, right near the banks of the Chaumont. And I looked him up. I looked his number up, and I just said, "Hey, I'm at your location. Nobody's answering the door. Do you mind if you know, you still allowing people to park here and walk out?" Right? Because he's got like the perfect setup where it's like it's right there, right?
Yep.
And he's like, "Yeah, go ahead." And he must have saw my name on the caller ID. And he goes, "Oh, I know who you are." He's like, "Well, just pay half and put it somewhere, right?"
Oh, wow.
So I'm like, "All right, cool, man." He's like, and I was like, "Okay, this is perfect." So, and I start walking out there, and he was coming back on his snowmobile. He's like, well, hop on. He kind of showed me an area to go, and it was still a long walk. He's like, "You want a ride? I'll put you on a good spot."
Oh,
And,
wow. How
I'm
nice
like,
is that?
"Hell yeah, dude!" And so, yeah, he took me out there and set me up, and away we went. So,
Man, that's really cool.
yeah.
Did you fish with him, or did he just drop you off?
No, he just dropped me off.
Oh, nice.
He was
That's
running a bunch of trips. It's the website or his guide service called Chaumont Masters,
Oh, wow.
and they do a lot of ice fishing. Some of my friends, I think, have guided with him in the past.
Yep.
So I've heard of their outfit, and they definitely are hardcore when it comes to ice fishing there. So I thought that was pretty freaking cool.
That's very cool.
Unfortunately,
Was it a good spot?
I marked 2 good ones.
Okay.
They couldn't get him to bite. And
Like
then
bass or perch or muskie?
probably walleye.
Okay,
Walleye.
gotcha.
And then yeah, my live scope went out on me.
Ah.
You know what happens when your live scope goes out on you?
You keep grinding.
No, you get up and you head back to the bank.
Oh, that's hysterical, man. So a lot of people are saying they'd love to see Pangrak and Castledine on. Get Zona back. There's been a bunch of other suggestions. Al Linder, of course, we've tried. We can't get him. Somebody just said Will from Gajo. Let's see who else. There was a bunch of other ones, but Pangrak you could certainly get on, right?
We can get Matt on anytime.
And Castledine. I would enjoy a conversation with Castledine.
Ben Milliken, Al Linder would be fun.
If we could get Al Linder, I mean, Al's never been on. If we could get him, that would be great. Do you think we could?
Man, I'd like to try. I think JP left.
He just ditched out like he always does.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you got to give him some points tonight. He was ready. He had a topic. He brought the good questions. He set us up.
I'm really proud of JP.
I am too. He's coming along.
Mm-hmm.
He's coming along. That's good. He certainly has come a long way.
Yeah.
How about Matt Steffen? He's a Wisconsin guy. Do you know him?
I don't know.
Would you want me to try to reach out to him, see if he would jump on?
We can in the future. We'll talk about it for sure.
I'll do some research. I'll provide a guest list to you, pal. How's that?
Babe Winkleman is who I really want on. He'd be my first guest.
Then how have you reached out to him?
No.
You want me to reach out to him?
No, I'll reach out to Babe.
When are you going to reach out to Babe? Why don't you just send him a note right now?
Nah.
Babe, we're on. We've got 225 people watching. Would you come on?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to reach out to anybody for next week?
No, not right now.
Okay, what's going on with that, man?
Nothing.
Are there any topics you want to talk about?
I'm pretty much open.
Okay, that sounds good. It's what we've been doing for a while. It seems to be working.
It
You know,
does.
you know, Flash Butts would be awesome. Larry Dahlberg. Whoa. Babe is in bed right now. Jay Hayes said Joe Butcher would be cool. Do you know Joe Butcher?
Booker.
Booker, sorry. Seth Fighter would be good.
Yeah.
People are asking for an after hours.
We can go into it.
Lee Sisson, what do you got for me, man?
I got much, man. There ain't much to talk about for the after hours.
All right.
Uh,
Oliver Nguyen.
I'm
Or Ol-
glad. I'm glad. I'm just glad. It's a very interesting time to be alive.
Well, I've got your predictions for 2025 down.
Mhm.
Here's what I wrote. False flag, heat, mothership, 2040 reset, May, Trump is going down, stock market crash, the benefactor, digital 5 years, Bitcoin, definitely buy some at XRP. There you go. It's what I wrote. I'd like to get more involved in that. Got it right here, everybody. We'll be checking these predictions as we go through. I mean, the mothership has my attention in 2025. Yeah, there you go. All right, man. That's Travis's predictions for 2025. Check back later. Fritz would be great. I still have the June bug crank. I was just looking at it. How weird that somebody mentioned it. There it is. The first June bug crank, first cast, Smalley in New York. And we tried in that same spot to catch them with live scope and every other bait we could think of, and nothing would bite. That got it. This bait was destined to be retired right after that moment.
I see some people are asking about the Tackle Warehouse link. If you guys do use this, I'm putting it in the comments right now. If you can copy and paste before you make your tackle purchases, that definitely helps out the channel. Pretty much the way I make money at all on YouTube.
Anymore?
Yeah.
Well, let's see. You're at 37,100 subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
I still have more subscribers than you do in my business. I'm at 58,000.
Uh-huh.
Just so you know.
Yeah.
What do you still have a goal to get to 100,000, or you just kind of like put that aside? YouTube is not really a focus anymore.
No, I think it. I do wanna charge forward with this for sure.
What are your plans to really start to acquire more viewers and subscribers?
Plan is to really get more in depth, and like I said this last year, right around this time.
I remember
videoing my guide trips and stuff.
Yes.
And then we had those issues with the boat, and
then you moved, and that took a lot of your energy, bro. So
Yeah.
this year, do you feel like you have the time, energy, and attention span to really
No,
create?
I don't, but I'm going to do it.
What month do you think you're going to flip that motivational switch to say, I'm going to make content?
Once we start fishing, for sure.
Okay, and that starts in
April.
April. So you're really going to pump out the content from your guide.
I really do. I want to do more in depth what we're using. At least try to get. I don't care if it's a 10-minute video every day.
I think that's
try to freaking put it out there. I want to get more shorts. You know, it's a complicated machine. It's not worth it for me.
To sit down and do an hour-long video, right?
No, it's fine. It's just financially, it's not worth it at all. Never has.
Well, I think what you're meaning to say is if trying to create a full-length hour edited video versus doing a 10-minute short that breaks down tackle, that you provide the links to people so they can see what you're fishing and go maybe purchase the tackle, right?
That would help. That would be nice. It's just that I'm telling you, dude, it's the ad revenue isn't at all what it used to be.
So really you have to do it through
something,
affiliate links, collaborations like you're doing with Beast Coast, right? To drive and make this thing make a living for you. Of course, your guide business is your main source. But to make this YouTube side successful in your mind, you really have to rely on the warehouse links and any tackle.
Yeah,
you're
I do need to
collaborating
do.
on.
I do want to do more shorts and stuff. I think we can add a little bit of humor to things, especially when I get in the right mindset.
Yeah,
I got to be in the mood, though. You know,
yeah, of course, of course. You've been down a little bit. You
been
know,
moody sometimes.
you have been. When you
But
were
once,
drinking, you were funnier, and then it would tip to angry.
when I was drinking,
Or maybe when there was more sugar in your diet.
maybe.
I don't know. Um,
Mm-hmm.
are you still enjoying an occasional glass of wine or a beer every
Yes,
once in a
I
while?
had a few beers tonight.
Do you think we should have a beer sponsor? Is there a New York beer sponsor we could get with?
There's a couple.
Okay.
There's definitely some opportunities.
Do you feel like you should expand your footprint with baits that you want to collaborate on?
Yeah, I should do a lot.
Or is that too much time and investment?
No, I'm ready.
I mean, to me, Tackle Warehouse carries everything. It's the universe of baits. I mean, it just depends on if you want to get more motivated, technique driven to explore different and new ways of catching fish.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Definitely
just
like to.
Or just sell 1 million of those Beast Coast jigs and you'll be fine, right?
Man, the thing is, there's so many great baits too. I think we could definitely do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or definitely more.
I think people find it interesting, and there's a whole nother side. Maybe like you've got your ice fishing stuff.
I think the guide stuff, the daily guide videos, because I can't fun fish as much as I used to.
I think that makes sense because, like, you guide your kids on the ice today. What were you using?
Right.
I mean, you're going to publish that video at some point. Maybe you publish a 10-minute short on your kid throwing the big perch of the day back into the ice. And hey guys, these are the ice jigs we were using today. Tip with XYZ. This is my rod reel line setup.
Yeah.
It's available in Tackle Warehouse. That's a hilarious short. I think that gets a lot of eyeballs because it's funny. Maybe you need a social media director.
Yes, that wants to work for free.
It's one of those things. Do you need another intern? Do you need a new Alex in your life?
I don't know.
Did you enjoy? I mean, to me, Alex did a few things for you, right? He got our schedule together.
We were doing the podcast back then.
Yeah, the podcast for sure. People love that, by the way, and they'd like to see you do another one. Do you think you would do another podcast series?
Man.
I mean, why not have those guests on that you did the podcast with live and in person?
We're going to do that. That's not a problem, Eric.
And span the conversation, like JP DeRose. I mean, I've watched that guy when I was growing up. I mean, I want to see him in person and say, hi, JP DeRose. Holy shit. You impacted my fishing. I love your show. I mean, it's fun for me. It'd be fun for you. I think it'd be fun for JP.
All right, let's do it.
He said yes before. You just go back to your list. What do you think? And then filter a new one every once in a while. I mean, think about it. Those guys are going to bring baits they like to talk about, the Jackal re-range or whatever. And then, there's a couple out of production baits they're going to talk about, but they're going to talk about baits that you don't fish, that they fish regularly, that your viewers are interested in because jerk baits are their jam. There's your Tackle Warehouse link. He's going to hold it up and it's a Jackal whatever. And people are going to go buy the Jackal on that show.
Yeah.
Don't you think, though? Don't you know?
I do know.
And you don't have to go create anything, do any contract. It's the link's there. Make that link work for you.
All right.
Because even though you just like to throw that Beast Coast jig and that's all you need, there are other people that like to fish other ways too. I'm not saying that's the only thing you throw, but you know what I'm saying. You lean on that thing and it's selling great for you. Maybe that'll wrench out enough for you, but I mean, wouldn't it be neat if you could just blow the universe up like JP DeRose Smallmouth Crush Special jerk baits in the spring?
Yes.
Or jerk baits all year, or jerk baits when you never thought about jerk baits. And he's got his 5 jerk baits that are, 4 still being made, 1's out of production. It gives people the secret jerk bait to go hunt for on eBay. People tune in because they want to know. And then the other 4 they can buy on your Tackle Warehouse link. You got a loyal subscriber base. You might get some new eyeballs that are going to tune in next week to that next Smallmouth Crush. Because look, smallmouth people are going to jam with you, man. That's your jam.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could expand the podcast series to largemouth guys for 2026 as a thought. That way you cover both sides of the angling spectrum. Then maybe you could get like, a spotted bass guru in here one time. There are bait companies that I bumped into at the tackle show that'd be like, man, yeah, we had it set up. We wanted to come on Smallmouth Crush and we were ready to do whatever deal Travis needed to access to the show. Remember, we used to feature bait companies and people would
Yes.
go on to experiment
I
with the
know.
baits.
Let's do it. You got
I'm
me
ready.
motivated.
All right,
guys.
I'm ready to do
I'm
it,
gonna
man.
get off. I'm gonna go figure my life out, and we're gonna hit it hard soon.
Dude, I'm available anytime you want to talk. It was a good
Take the
brainstorming
lead, guys.
session.
Okay.
I'm here for you,
Man,
bro. I want to support you. I want your channel to grow. I
Me
have
too.
fun being on. I like talking about baits. I love talking
All
about
right,
baits.
guys. Don't
I
forget to
love talking
subscribe to the channel.
And then you can always subscribe to my channel too. The link's broken at the bottom of this description. I still forgive Travis. He's supposed to fix it. He didn't. I said I wasn't going to come on the show. He said he was going to fix it before the show. Let's go down in the video description and see if it's fixed. Travis, you want to check that for me?
You check it.
I think I already did.
Does it work?
I don't believe it does, but let me check.
Check it.
I'm just going to check it. I'm still way down below the fold. So that's another action item we got to work on. Get Eric above the fold. Let's see. Epic Eric official. And there it was. I have to sign in, but it works. Travis, thank you, man. Hey.
Just so you know, my link wasn't working either, bud.
Well, that's all
You
right.
don't see me complaining.
I think they know where to find you. The channel's called Smallmouth Crush. They want to subscribe. They're probably going to search for on Instagram and get you, man. So anyway, dude, there's a whole list of things we could map out literally in 2 hours the year. Up to you. One night, we'll crack some beers. We'll FaceTime. We'll laugh a little bit. You'll tell me some crazy stories.
I will do that.
You can even have your YouTube video running in the background, and I'll listen in. I don't care what you're listening to in the background. So at least you can keep your programming going.
I don't listen to much anymore.
You don't listen to that guy anymore?
I mean, just because I don't listen to him doesn't mean I don't agree.
No, I didn't say that. But do you still play him nonstop?
There's nothing new he's going to come out with from this point forward.
Well, that's good. Okay, you can go deeper into his topics, but you've heard enough. I like it. Now you can invest that energy and those hours into thinking about this channel. You really do have a gem here, bro.
All right.
And I'm proud of what you've done. And I'm proud of the work we've done together. I've enjoyed
Well, then
it.
let's continue on, guys. All right. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. As always, till next time. We'll see you guys next week, Monday. I do have like 5 or 6 videos. I don't know if you guys want to see some videos from this fall on the YouTube channel. Maybe. I got everything edited.
I do. I think you should start releasing them.
That's one of the problems. Was just being able to time it, you know?
Yeah.
It's
No.
January. It's almost February.
But what I think is people like, remember that year you were like going to can the videos to show people stuff during the winter, because people, they don't care when we fished. It doesn't have to be a timely thing. It gets them thinking for next fall or your spring. It doesn't matter.
Right.
You know, it's just a cool video to watch. You can premiere a little bit of it on the show, you know, like you've been doing. When you do that, I mean, I think people really enjoy it. I know I enjoy it because I forgot half the shit we do out there because, you know, we're laughing half the time. We're experimenting this. I'm being a hardhead trying to throw a sea rig and getting bites and can't hook up. I just wanted to catch one on a finesse worm while you were cracking them on that Nico. And then we got to do the 2-claw crawl challenge, which was awesome.
Yeah.
That would make a great short. And sell you some Nico baits. You know, sell some Nico baits. It's a hell of a crawl. They bit the hell out of that thing. And it lasts forever if you don't lose it.
No, it does.
Yeah. 50, 60 fish. Throw a little smelly jelly on there, man. Like the Goby or the Smallmouth Crush Super Gel. Goby's out of stock, but you could still get Travis's secret.
Is it out of stock now?
I think Goby is gone. I think they can't crush up Gobies anymore. But your Smallmouth Magic, which I don't know what the ingredients are, but there might be all the things you need in it.
I would think.
And let's have a beverage next week. I need a beverage.
Okay.
Let's have a few. I might drink 2 next week.
Oh, we're gonna have a live next week.
I think we should have a live, and I think we should drink a little.
Okay.
I've been a little tense lately too, bro.
All right. We'll see everybody next week, Monday. I can't wait.
And for those of you guys who are glide baiters, the new Rise and Glide hats are in right there.
Check it out, basscartelmafia.com.
Exactly. Exactly. Until next time.
We'll see you guys on the water. You always fist pump at the end.
I do, man.
What's wrong with you?